in this video we're going to cover all things related to the structural balance assessment. For any client, regardless of whether they are online, on the boot camp, doing PT, they're going to need to get one of these assessments done. Now you don't need me there with you as you're doing this, but what you will need is a weightless bar. Okay, so this weighs about 1 or 2 kilos. It's not an Olympic bar, it just has to be around 1.5 meters, maybe 2 meters long, around 3/4 of your height. Okay, so what I'm going to do, the way I'm going to set up for this, is I'm going to have the bar placed on top of my head, okay, slightly towards the back. As you can see, it's not on my forehead, okay, it's slightly towards the back of my head, okay. From there, I'm going to get my arms in a nice 90-degree angle, okay? So I don't want to be too tight, I don't want to be too far away either. I want to be just here. That's about right for me and my height and my arm length, okay? From there, you're going to push up with the bar, and the bar is going to, again, remain slightly over the back of your head, okay? It's not all the way back here, but it's definitely not forwards here, okay? Once you're in that position there, you're going to be nice and relaxed. You're going to set your feet up. So between hip and shoulder width apart, okay? So here will do fine for me. And from there, all I'm gonna do is do my best at squatting down as far as I can go, all the way to the floor if possible, and then coming back up, okay? What I wanna stress is that it's just an attempt. It's not a pass or a fail test. This position that you're in, of doing the overhead squat, is gonna put the necessary strain on the joints, on the mobility, on the flexibility, on the movement patterns that we want to create while I'm planning you guys' training programs. So when you're in this position with the structural balance assessment, once you're in that position with the bar over your head, if you can only get to here and you're starting to experience pain, that's fine. If you can get all the way down and your heels come up, again, that's fine. If you come down and the bar tilts forwards, let it happen. Don't cut the movement short because you think you're doing it wrong. I need to see your best attempt. So if that means you fall over, if that means you take longer than expected, if that means you have to rush it, that's fine. Just take your time and try and do it perfectly, okay? So on the descent now, on the eccentric, so the way down, we want to take 2 or 3 seconds, okay? So from when I'm at the top here, I'm going to take 1, 2, 3, and then come back up in one controlled movement. Okay, it doesn't have to be quick. It's not an actual exercise. It's just a mobility test. Okay. So once you've got the actual pattern of movement down, once you know exactly what you're doing, what you're going to do is do it twice from 4 different angles. So the first angle is going to be with your right shoulder facing the camera. The second angle is going to be face on. Third is going to be with your left shoulder, and the fourth will be from behind, okay? So once you've done 2 squats in every single position, that's it, okay? If you are really struggling to get any movement out of this at all, and I mean, if you're overhead and you're coming down and you're barely getting down to parallel, okay? Feel free to bring in an elevated heel. Okay, so you could use some of the bumper plates, you could use a ramp if your gym has one, if you're doing it at home you might want to use a couple cushions or whatever, just something to elevate your heels off the ground. So nothing changes with the actual squat itself, you're still in the exact same position, your feet are still between hip and shoulder width apart, the bar is still above the back of your head, but what you're now going to do is have your heels, just your heels, elevated slightly, okay? What this is going to do is going to allow your posterior chain to free up a little bit of movement to come down, and usually people find this a little bit easier, okay? So if you'd like to do that as well, again, do the regular squat test, so without the elevated heel, 2 by 2 by 2 by 2 in every different angle, and then you're going to go again on the platform and recreate the same patterns of movement for the same amount of reps, okay? So that's the structural balance assessment done. When you're filling out the form post this, you need to remember as much as you can, okay? So if there's any pain, if there's any clicking, if there's any discomfort, anything that you can think of as you're doing this movement, the more information you can give to me, the better program I can write for you.